everybody, it is Brooke and I'm here for a very special bonus video. Today we're doing the character tier list for season 3 of Steven Universe. Picking out the characters for this tier list, I kind of went through the wiki of Steven Universe and of season 3 and read through the episode descriptions and picked out the characters from the episodes that I felt had a big impact on the season. We either saw multiple times or, had a big episode with an arc. Hazel's getting comfy over there. She's being very cute. She's just off camera though, so you can't see her. Hazel, do you want to come over here? See that? Now I'm comfy. Okay, she's gonna stay over there. But I'm excited to get to this today. I can't believe we're done season 3. I don't remember exactly how many seasons are. It's either 5 or 6. So we might be at the halfway point or past the halfway point. I'm not sure. But as it always goes, if you're new to the channel, welcome. It's so nice to meet you. Thanks for checking out one of my videos. Feel free to share where you would rank people for season 3 in the comments. And if you didn't know, I do one of these whenever we finish a season of a show. I know some people would do like a series one, but I think it's interesting to do them at the end of a season because your feelings about a character can change so much from like season 1 to season whatever. So I think it's fun to be able to look back and be like, this is how I felt about this character in season 1, and maybe I feel completely different about them in season 3. I think it's a fun time capsule for me and for you guys to kind of see where I was at. They can also be, if you're someone who's like, I really love season 1 and 4 of, or season 1 and 4 of Steven Universe, but I don't really like 2 or 3 reactions. You could just watch this one, right? And then dive into my season 4 reactions because you'll have an idea how I feel about each character and plotline. So it can be a good starting point for people who maybe don't want to go back and watch every reaction, but want to be here live for the current season that's airing. So it's just a lot of stuff, and I think it's an extra fun video for you guys. I make it early access for every member of my Patreon and my memberships, because I think that's kind of fun. These are special treat episodes, and please remember that if you disagree with me, that's okay. If you disagree with people in the comments, that's also okay, but remain respectful. Again, I've never had a problem with anyone in the Steven Universe fandom. Even in the Buffy fandom, most people, with a few outliers, are very accepting of people not liking characters the same amount as them. Obviously, there's some people who are maybe so projected themselves into a character or have their own headcanon for a character, and they don't like when someone doesn't agree with it. But even so, remain respectful. This is a cartoon. It's a TV show. It's not real. It's not worth actively harming a real human being's feelings, reputation, things like that over a TV show opinion. It's kind of crazy to be calling someone a name over a TV show. I'm 29. I ain't gonna be doing that. Even if people don't like my favorite characters on shows. That's not the vibe. And I get defensive. I have my characters, especially in like RWBY, I'll be like, no, you don't understand the storyline. But even then, you don't take it out on who the reactor is. They haven't like studied the character as much as you or things like that. So you never know. But feel free to disagree. Just be like not a dickhole about it. I feel like that's a fair deal. But I'm excited. We're going to start with Rose. Rose is still a flashback girly. Like, Rose isn't in the show, obviously. She's, like, dead or whatever. But we get to see her in a few more flashbacks this season. We also get to learn about some maybe not so good decisions she made or some hard decisions she made. But I do feel like I know her more. And, like, even learning about, like, her mistakes, like, not telling people about Bismuth, or, like, that fact that she actually, like, shattered a diamond to free the other gems on Earth. Like, I gotta give her A. I think it's gonna be hard for Rose Quartz to be S tier because she's, like, we don't see her, right? Because she's gone. So, like, it's hard for, I think, a memory of someone to be S tier for me. But I really, really like her. I think the Rose flashback episodes are some of the most interesting. Um, and so I always get excited when it's one of them. So I'll take more and more learning about her. I hope we get even more in season 4. I think her biggest episodes are more Steven finding out about things she did as a leader that maybe he doesn't agree with. And having to kind of grapple with that fact and decide what kind of leader he's going to be. And it's just been very interesting. Sorry, I'm going to check on my dog a lot. Hazel, do you want to come over? She's like, no, I'm sitting here looking sad. She's fine. She's just looking sad. She has a vet appointment later. I think she knows. We had the Watermelon Stevens at the beginning. I'm gonna give them... They're C tier. They're funny. They're cute. But I'm not, like, emotionally invested. Right? I guess I didn't name the tiers this time. Icons. Love them. We're cool. I like them. I get it. Like, I get why they're there. I get why people like them. I get it. No thank you. That's for characters I don't like. There's not a lot on this, so I'm not doing a lot of negative tiers because I don't have a lot of negative feelings for any of these characters. Hi. She's coming closer. Do you want water? Oh, she does. I'll hold the water for her. I put, because there's a lot of the Frymans and, like, the fish pizza families. I just put the families together, and I'm gonna kind of rank them together. I love the fish pizza family. They're, like, one of my favorite families in Beach City. I think Kiki and her sister, whose name I will never remember to save my life. I remember Kiki's because of Kiki's delivery service. They're two of my favorite townies. I think their stories are really fun. Kiki had that great episode with the pizza nightmare. I think their dad is really funny. Their grandma's hilarious. I think whenever the fish stew pizza people are in the episode, they're a highlight. They really shine. And they got a couple really good episodes this season, so I really like them. I am gonna put them on I love them, actually, because I think out of all the, like, families, Onions is the top. But we didn't see them too much this season. And then they're second. My boy Steven is an icon, okay? I love Steven, but he's also icon status. He's grown so much this season. We've seen him make some really kind, good decisions. We've seen him make maybe some bad decisions and learn from it. I just think Steven had a really good season. Obviously, Steven's the main character. That gives him a benefit of being in, like, every single episode. But we saw Steven deal with some hard stuff this season. Not just about, like, his mom, but, like, decisions he has to make that are kind of hard. And, you know, he went against his mom on some of those decisions, like, telling them what happened with Bismuth. And I think there's a lot of respect. I think we see Steven really growing into his own person this season. And I don't know, I really liked it. I really liked all his, like, decisions this season and who he's becoming, and I'm very excited to see where he goes in season 4. Malachite. I don't want to see Malachite again. Malachite's design, 100. If this was a design thing, they're up here. Malachite's scary as hell. Jasper and Lapis together is terrifying. It's also unhealthy for both of them. Freaks me the fuck out. I don't want to have to fight that again. Hell no. Sadie is my queen. Sadie's an icon. I don't care. I know she's not in the show as much as the other people who are going to be in icon status. But she's my girl. She's my slay. She's my queen. Out of all the townies, if I had to pick a single townie, it's her and Onion are my, those are my top. I also think Sadie had some really good episodes this season. She had a great, I love the Big Donut as a location. And I thought her and Lars's story in the episode where Steven switched into his body was very interesting. And I just like Sadie. Whenever Sadie's a part of it, I'm like, I'm gonna have a good episode. Kevin, fuck off. Nobody likes Kevin. The one good thing about Kevin, I'll put him here. The one good thing about Kevin is the episode he was in was a Fast and Furious themed episode, and I live. Tokyo Drift episode, baby. That was iconic. So Kevin gets that because the episode was good, and he brought in the Tokyo Drift vibe, but we hate Kevin. Pearl. Oh, Pearl. Let me think. This season on Pearl. I think Pearl has done a lot of improvements this season. I think she's in icon status. I'm trying to think if Pearl pissed me off this season. Because out of the three crystal gems, she's probably my least favorite. But I feel like she did a lot of growth this season. There was the one episode where she was training Connie to sacrifice herself for Steven. But I think that triggered Pearl to reflect on a lot of her bad habits and behavior with Rose when it involves Rose and thinking about Rose and how she was with Rose. We also get that when they all go to the fancy Empire City and her and Greg almost learn to forgive each other and get along without it being a sad thing. So I think Pearl had a lot of really good growth episodes this season. So I'm going to give her icon status. Lapis. I did the Bob thing because it was my favorite Lapis moment of this season. I love Lapis. I don't know if she's an icon yet. She could get there. I think she was just not in enough episodes for me to put her in icon status this season, but she still had a lot of really good moments and episodes. But this was really a healing season, I think, for her. Once we got her back and separated from Malachite, she was pretty quiet, but I think Lapis needed that. It was for her to chill and find herself again. And I don't think that's bad. Jasper? Okay, I'm gonna be real. Jasper's a fun villain, so I'm gonna put him in We're Cool. I don't love Jasper. I don't think Jasper's an icon. But we're cool because Jasper does what Jasper's supposed to do, and that's be a good villain. Jasper's a compelling villain. When Jasper is going to be in the episode as the villain, I know it's gonna be a good one. They're gonna be annoying. They're gonna be crazy. They did get bubbled at the end of that last episode they were in, so I don't know if we'll see them in season 4 or if we'll ever see them again, or they're gonna stay bubbled because they are corrupted now, and so I don't know if we'll be able to see Jasper until we find a way to fix corruption. But Jasper haunts the narrative a bit. Whenever we're dealing with a gem thing, Jasper comes flying in and has a lot to do with everyone else's growth this season in a lot of ways. So I think Jasper a very key point to the season, and it wouldn't be the same season without them, so I gotta put them in We're Cool. God, why don't I remember the name? But the fusion of Steven and Amethyst, I love. It was so much fun. It was such an exciting episode, not just because they were able to beat Jasper. Oh, she's laying down. Because that was awesome. But Steven fusing with a gem for the first time was so insane. It boosted both of their confidence. It created a really fun fusion with a cool weapon. It was just very exciting. Fusion is the coolest part of this series, so whenever we get a new kind of fusion, I think it's such a good time and so fun, and I was really excited for it to be Amethyst and Steven because they had that episode before where they both felt they're the weakest, and together they made something a lot stronger, and by being together and not trying to compete, and I think that's really awesome. So I really like one of my favorite episodes of the season. My boy Sour Cream, I'm gonna put Sour Cream's picture, but it's for his whole family of his mom and Onion. I love them as a family as well. I think Onion, if he was on his own, but he didn't have too many onion based episodes, so that's why he's not here on his own. Sour Cream had his own there's Baby Sour Cream episode, and then Sour Cream had his DJ episode, so I let him be the picture. I really liked both those episodes. They're very interesting. Baby Sour Cream is very cute. And they actually give him a kind of, like, I guess, as someone with, like, a deadbeat dad who grew up that way, I think I related to his storyline a lot. And so maybe that's why I rank it a little higher. You know, we have our own personal experiences. But I gotta put him up there because those episodes, like, really emotionally got to me. And I just get excited when Sour Cream, Onion, or their mom are on it. I just love that Onion family. Bismuth, I think I'll put in We're Cool. We only had that one double-length episode with Bismuth. I understand Bismuth, right? Like, I understand where Bismuth is coming from in thinking that we need to shatter everyone who gets in the way of peace is maybe going too far. Because can you truly have peace if you killed everyone to get there? I don't think so, but I'm sure they don't really understand because Rose was able to shatter Pink Diamond, and was that okay? But then what they want to do is not okay. And I think it was very interesting. It was our first look into Rose, like, lying to all the crystal gems about where another crystal gem went. That was big for Steven. A very big moment for him to decide to be a different leader than his mom. And I think Bismuth's design is iconic. I do hope we'll see her again. Because it was a very interesting episode. And I liked it. Lars. Oh, I don't like Lars that much, if I'm honest. At least not this season. I'm trying to think. He had, like, a little bit of redemption when he was nice to Sadie at the end of that one episode. But, like, mostly Lars didn't do much this season. That's literally all I can remember him doing. Other than being kind of snarky. So, I'm not spending too much time on him. Amethyst, icon. Amethyst had some hard episodes this season where she was really struggling with self-worth. Especially finding out that her and Jasper are both quartz, and if she had been, I don't know, grown correctly, she'd look more like Jasper, I guess. But I don't want that. I love Amethyst's design. But it's something she really struggled with. She did take it out on others at times, which was hard to see, but very Amethyst. But I think in the end of the season, she came out stronger for it when she realized that it's not about personal strength. She's part of a family unit, and the strength comes from the people she loves, and that's something Jasper can never compete with. And they love her for her, and not strength or power or the hole she came out of. Which sounds gross, but they come out of rock holes. You guys know. And I think Amethyst needed this. I feel like she's had, like, one other growth episode in, like, season 2 or something. And mostly she's just there for comedic relief. But her getting this whole, like, few episode arc of growth, I think, was well deserved and well timed. We have the Ruby gang. We're cool. I know they're evil, but I kind of like them. I think they're just silly. Eyeball, obviously, floating out in space somewhere after trying to kill Steven. Believing that he's fully Rose and just lying. But the Ruby team is in, like, 3 episodes, and I just think they're funny. There's not a lot to say about them right now. Other than, for Rubies, they're all very individualistic for coming from Homeworld, which is kind of interesting. I wonder if that shows some change in Homeworld and how things are going there. I wonder if we'll see Homeworld at any point, like, actually go there. We have Stefani, who we love, which is Connie and Steven. We only saw them, we saw them twice in the Fast and Furious episode, and the episode where they fight and beat Jasper at one point. It's a fun fusion. I still like when they're together. I think it gives them both confidence and ability to work together. Not too much to say there. Garnet is an icon. We love Garnet. I feel Garnet, of the 3 main crystal gems, other than the episode, I guess we did get the episode where we learned the backstory of Ruby and Sapphire. I think that was this season. I did like that. That That was kind of nice. But other than that, I don't know if Garnet had a lot of growth episodes this season. I think those were more giving to Pearl and Amethyst, at least emotionally. Garnet had a little bit, but just not too many. I think I'd like to see a little bit more for her in season 4. Maybe a couple episode arc for Garnet in season 4 would be good. But I still love Garnet, so icon. I think Peridot, icon. I love Peridot now. Peridot's like my favorite gem. So whenever Peridot's in it, I'm like, this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be funny. She's gonna say something funny. I think her powers are growing. I hope she gets to try to fuse with Lapis or even Amethyst at some point. Because I think that'd be so much fun for her. I really think Peridot is ready to take a step up into a main gem to me. Lapis too, maybe. I don't know if we'll get that in season 4, like an opening with them as main gems, but I truly think Peridot has earned it. She's earned to be a crystal gem, like one of the main crystal gems. But I don't know if it'll happen, but it is what I'm hoping for her. Then we get the Fryman family. We're cool. I don't love them the way I do Stu Pizza and the Onion family, but I do like them. They're funny. Except for Ronaldo. I don't like Ronaldo. He brings his family down. He almost brings his family down to here, but I like PD too much, so they can go there. Then my girl Connie's an icon. You can't take Connie. Can't put Connie lower than that. Connie had an insane season. Connie's started to learn how to fight to protect her friend. She told her parents about everything. She's come clean. She's strong. She's doing the right thing. I think her and Steven's fighting styles together is so good and such a good representation of this show. I love Connie. I honestly, my biggest complaint is she wasn't in a few more episodes this season. Would have made me really happy. But I'm excited to see her and Steven's growth in the next season. So there it is. That is how I feel about Steven Universe Season 3. I think you can tell I feel really, really positive about this season. I really am enjoying this show. I think it's so much fun. And I'm excited to continue with Season 4. Every Thursday on the channel, there'll be 2 new episodes of Steven Universe for you guys to watch with me. So I hope you'll subscribe so you never miss an episode. And that I'll see you next time.